Bolwani, my people, this is your queen, Queen Ngningone II, 17th generation crown queen of the Fang people, also known as the immortal, my children. How's everybody?
Good.
We're wonderful. How are you, Queen?
I'm doing fantastic, fantastic. So my dear children, what is on the menu today?
We are discussing Queen Ngningone. They fought to steal. We fight to reclaim.
Absolutely.
Yes, ma'am. You
Absolutely.
know, the thing that angers me, and I ask that you forgive me, but please understand, the thing that angers me is they came into our house and took what we had. They didn't ask for it, but they took it. They took our spirituality. They took our minerals out of the land. They took us, our ancestors out of the land.
Yeah.
And taken us into the diaspora. And they claim us as property, their property.
So they wish.
Please go ahead.
They wish, my children, we could ever be a property of them. So the good news, my dear children, is we are the chosen generation. We are the generation who will witness the reversal of the evil that was perpetrated onto us.
Yes.
That's why I'm so happy when, let's say I get on the net and I see some of you, you know, making clear who are cognitive, who are awakening, who now know that there's more to us, because they have gone around the world and conquered people and enslaved many on their homeland, right? But you see that with time, slowly they loosen their grip on that group of people, because, you know, at that point they completely conquered. But when it comes to the people of Africa, it's like that grip never get loosened up, no matter what. No matter how our children, the weak ones, of course, the ones that break through the soul, no matter how submissive or good servant they turn and they become to them. Because remember, our brother and father Isaiah, the one people, you know, loosely call Jesus, what did he tell us? He told us we will lose our lives for trying to save it.
Yes, 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 he did.
You know, so that was another lesson when it comes to our immortality. We are the immortals, my children. When I greet, I always make sure I properly identify myself, because they know us. So Isaiah told us that we will lose our lives for trying to save it. He was directly talking to the sellouts.
Wow.
He was directly talking to the sellouts. I mean, telling them that you think working with the devil in any capacity, being of service to him, do you think that's gonna spare you? In the contrary, you may have a nice life on earth, but this is where your journey starts. You understand? So that was the message, of course, quoted for us, that we are to be like our forefathers. It was necessary that they demonize their character, right?
Yes.
Because these people have never seen people as brave, as courageous, because they have never seen people as brave and as courageous as our ancestors were. Our ancestors went against these people with their bare hands. It's like, imagine what is currently happening in Ukraine, the war between Ukraine and Russia. Imagine one of the side didn't have the weapons, the kind of weapon they're using on each other. Imagine one of the side showed up with machete, hatchet, arrows, and stuff like that. This was the courage of our forefathers. Yeah, they can demonize them, but they know that they never have seen it anywhere. That's why that grip has not tightened up, has not loosened up, because they know that you as their children, they live in you. And at any time, you can awaken from the slumber.
Hallelujah.
So the time has come for us to claim that which is rightfully ours. So what does it mean? To come into knowledge and acceptance of who we are, the bad yet, but the good also. How powerful we are and who we are. So this leads me to today's message I have for my beautiful and amazing sons and daughters out there. The message I have is about the chosen ones. My dear brothers and sisters, when I went through the extent of putting the video about the 12 tribes of Israel, starting from the meaning of their names and everything, it was for you to know who we are, who we came from.
Yes.
The war against us was lost due to our divisions.
Yes.
But it doesn't mean that the entire continent was divided, no. We had tribes who were brothers and acted like it.
Yeah.
Okay? In my area, those who were living around us, the tribes that were living around us, the Punus, the Nchogos, the Kotas, the Vilis, the Minchogos, the Nziebis, all these people, although we the Fang people, back then, we held our daughters and sons up high. If you don't look like us, we don't let you marry us. Our parents will tell you. Our people, I mean, they've been big on preserving the genes, all right? So they've been very discriminatory when it comes to that, you know? It's like, don't come and ruin my race.
Yes.
So nevertheless, we live, you know, together. But when the Portuguese came for us, the other tribe didn't sit and wait. Yeah, the Bakongos are the same. But you see, the other tribe didn't sit and wait until the war got to them. They joined. From left, right, and stuff, they were like, no, because in this area, the Fang kingdoms are the strongest. If they start by them, we are so done. So they got on code. So that's why I tell our children, if your ancestry is from one of those I just mentioned, from the Gabon area, you go all the way to the Congo, the French Congo, they have a terrible tribe over there. That tribe is also found in southern Gabon, the Tekes. They've been the traders. They are still the traders. So, but other than that, the other tribe as one, you know, the other tribes even hid our royal families among them after the fall of our people, you know. So it's to tell you that the sense of unity is in us. Yes, we had our difficulties, we had our little trouble stuff, but nevertheless, a good majority of the land were not wicked enough to side with the oppressor and talk to them. Wherever the oppressor was able to penetrate, it was through trickery.
Wow.
All right,
Yes.
through trickery, bringing their trinkets, bringing, in some cases, they stole land from kings through translation type of things. They bring documents that they make you sign, and you have to rely on their own interpreter. So you see, there's a lot of things that took place. I know that there's a kingdom, they're from the Fang group too. It's called the Bulu. They're in Cameroon. They're from Ephraima. One of their prince was bitter due to the fact that he wasn't chosen to the throne. And what did that prince did? He signed an agreement with the German, all right, he basically sold the kingdom to the German. But somebody gonna read, an African prince sold the kingdom. He was in no authority to do that. He wasn't the king. He was jealous his brother got crowned instead of him. So you see, you have to go, you know, to the roots. Even the case of Bemba with the Bakongo and stuff, it was a betrayal. It was a betrayal of a son who knew he was not going to be chosen to be the king of the Bakongo. So what did he do? He went and see the Portuguese. He said, I can be your man. I can get all these people, you know, baptized into Christianity. I can do whatever you want and blah, 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 if you get my father out of the way.
Oh, my goodness.
Although they tricked the father of Bemba to Christianity, but he woke up. He told them, this is not what I want for my people. Christ didn't make me king. Nzambi made me king.
Yes.
So the white people, when you see that some people are so brainwashed on the continent to fear them and view them as God, because they got a mental blow when they saw them murdering their kings and drag their head around and assign another king to his throne. It blew their mind, because why? For all Bantu people, we know Tata Nzambi is the one who selects our kings. He's the king maker. So when they saw a white man that comes and murdered this guy who's our father and put somebody else on our father's seat, it blew their mind. Because all they know is God who makes the king. That's why in our system, it's not by birth position. Because Tata Nzambi knows the firstborn may not be equipped. That's why it has to be through the spirit. So our people already got traumatized by that. And they brought who? A white Jesus.
Yes.
So, you know, so the trauma came from there and everything. But what I want you, my beautiful and amazing children, to know, among those they took, I want to say all of them, because when they defeated a king, they made sure they captured all his male children. The oldest ones were executed right there. The youngest ones were taken to slavery. This is where you guys come in. I'm sitting in front of you today because somebody in my lineage got away when our last king fell, his 14-year-old took over and led the people into hiding in the woods, in the forest, in the caves. We didn't come out until they talked about independence. I know that some of our children in the diaspora, they are independent, they don't have independence. No, it's a big deal for us. It was like leaving the plantation to finally be in Jim Crow. Whether you like it or not, it's a relief. So many of the royal houses were destroyed back at home. And in some places where they found a puppet, because they would take these tribes, these very primitive tribes, even per our standard. They would take them and put them in power. You know? So what some of them did was to eliminate the survivors, known survivors of the royal families by giving them away, hoping that they could take over whatever divine power was in that crown, sit on it and use it and manipulate it. So if you wonder why whether in Europe, in the Americas everywhere, or in Africa, there's a big problem with human sacrifices, people using blood, children going missing. The reason why my children is because a lot of people in this world are sitting on powers which don't belong to them.
Yes.
So now the time has come during which they can no longer use it. Okay? And the rightful custodians are to rise up and claim them.
Reclaim.
Our power doesn't pop up from thin air. It comes from somewhere.
Yes.
When Tata Nzambi established the crown, he gives the wealth, he gives the weapon, he gives everything. So these things don't just vanish because they can never be in the wrongful hands. They think you can steal a God-given power. It's impossible. So you are chosen because some of you come from royal houses. There was a particular mission given to your ancestor, and that mission got interrupted. And now the activities are set to resume. So it started first in the spiritual, when the awakening of our people started, okay? So, and then it's gonna continue with the return, my dear children. Why do you think some of our leaders back at home, they turn a blind, a deaf ear to the petition of our children to return? It's end of party for them.
Yes.
And they know it. So I know many of you have had encounter with an ancestor in a dream that came and gave you something. They can come and give you a tool. If you're a teacher, it could just be like a tool you use in your classroom. But my children, don't take it lightly. It's a transfer of power. They gave you the gift of teaching. You be the kind of teacher when you stand in a classroom, you explain even what could seem to be a complicated concept, but you break it down in a way where our people are so receptive of it. It's a gift. Everything we do, you gotta be born to do it, to perform it. Some of you who are in the medical field, they may come and give you a tool, they may come and give you a herb, because maybe you're treating a patient with a disease that pharmaceutical company don't have a cure for, but they come and reveal it to you. A transfer has taken place in the spirit. So these ones that have these dreams, interacting with some ancestor we know some of them you don't know, but they come to you because you are POI, person of interest to them. Okay? So this is what makes you chosen. Now let me tell you what goes with that package. The royal, the priest, the healers, the guards, the fighters, everybody, they have their anointing to do what they want to do. So that alone makes you chosen. Now, when the gift comes to you, it makes you the active royal for that generation. Yes, you will have children, you will have family members who will fight you within your own family, not because you're born together, that means that all of you are gonna have the same mission. No, there's always one that select per household. So you have to stand firm in your conviction of what you're doing. Why did you receive that gift? Because you are pure. Purity of heart translate into purity of intentions, translate into purity of actions. Our powers are not things that can be handled by people whose heart is English. Hey, somebody else's language will always be somebody else's language. They have the predisposition to just hate. They don't like to encourage other people, you know? So you, our chosen ones, you will be targeted. People will see, some people will see that light in you even before you awaken. And this is where it's the most dangerous, because they come and suck you up without even you knowing. They notice that when they're your friend, life just tend to roll smoother for them. They get better jobs, you know, they attract, you know, better partners, just things, whatever they apply, they get because they're walking alongside the chosen one. So when he pops his umbrella open and it rains, you next to him, you shelter, you're under his covering. And many times those who are brought around us is for two things. We have to help heal them. That healing would lead them to find their purpose, their life purpose. Okay? So you are to build other ones of us up so that they find their life purpose and get on it. Now, my dear children, the second category are the ones our ancestors in Tata Nzambi intentionally bring around us for them to be arrested spiritually, for them to be put out of business. If they were out there being mischievous, if they were out there being a spiritual thief or causing losses to people, they bring them around you because they know they're going to come and try you. And there they will meet with judgment, with justice. So it requires to have a long-suffering kind of heart. Because many of you who are chosen, you don't need to tell me your story, I know it. You will tell me, my queen, it seems like 90% of the people are hell. Turn around and fight me. If I found them an inch away from dying, I bring them to my home, nurture them, build them up with that same food, the energy my food gave them. They're going to strike me or try. Don't think it's just you. That's the life of chosen ones.
Wow.
So you cannot let the betrayal of the people, the backstabbing of the people turn you out, make you somebody evil, somebody mean, somebody who doesn't see anybody else happy but themselves, but only them. Don't let that happen to you, because they would have won you over. They would have corrupted that very same thing that made you chosen, your heart and its purity. So don't let them win. And I'm going to tell you why, my dear children. You don't have to worry about it. The things we carry have been in our families for centuries. They have guards assigned to it. They don't belong to us. We're just the custodian of it for this generation. Tata Nzambi has a mission for each crown. So these things gonna be there. Thieves may come and steal some and go store in their spiritual warehouse for a few minutes, just for our guards to come and not only recover what they stole from us, but wipe them clean of their own too. That's how you would see some people end up on the bridges, just getting a hard fall, is because spiritually or physically they stole from the wrong people. So you have to understand, never be in regret for helping an ungrateful person. Because see, our ancestors, even in, you know, we are the one with the toughest mission. We go to the ground and, you know, build up spirit that have been in the rut. Some of them don't know how to do anything else but stab and rob and, you know, just do whatever, be nasty. You know, feel it's okay to treat people like trash. Feel it's okay to use people, openly use them and be like, what? But that arrogance is very quickly checked, because they don't know why your ancestors allow them in your spiritual space. So you will see many of them, they will come to you and tell you about a dream. It will blow your mind. Like, I can't believe they're just telling on themselves. I'm sure it has happened to many of you, where someone you have under your wing comes and tell you about a dream. This is their activities in the 5Ds. That's what our dream state is. They come and tell you some crazy activity, I had one recently who I took under my wing and taught a few things. She calls about a dream of, you know, being in she booked a hotel room or something like that. She knows who she is. Yes, I'm going to use your story to teach our children what never to do. So she started dreaming. She told me she booked a hotel room, and when she got there was a problem with the hotel room, but the management told her, don't worry, we're upgrading you to a higher suite at no cost to you, right? And then she saw herself in a golden suite. You know, everything was gold, everything, just like a super upgrade. And I'm like, cool, you know, because when I see my ancestors, that's where they're sitting, all right? Yes. Their parlors, their palaces in the 5D, we roll in gold. I'm like, yeah, you in. Because I mean, if you hang out with a crown royal, where do you think you're gonna hang around? In golden palaces, point blank, period. Whether in the 5D or on the 3D, it comes with the territory. If you were not dreaming about golden palaces before, look around you, who's new. That's the person who's bringing that energy. And revert them as who they are. Because your blessing, your anointing, even you receiving your own gift could depend on how you work with that one. Do you understand? Yes. So we need to go back to our mores, our value. So, and then she continued the dream that she saw herself in the closet. and she was trying to get dressed. There was a show. Some people were coming to see her. It was her show. But in her dressing room, her slippers and her dress were not fitting. So to me, it was like in the spirit, what is yours is meant to fit like a glove. So in my mind, I'm like, whose slippers you were trying to fit? Whose dress you were trying to wear? If it's your show, how come your stage is not set up right? But what she didn't know is that at that point, she was under spiritual arrest. And then she continued. She tried to enter, I don't know, like a door or something, and the door led her outside, and she was in her undies, underwear. I'm like, that one is disgrace, is massive exposure. It's nothing good. So, and all of a sudden, the person just picked a fight with me for no reason. Just pick a fight. And you know me, my children, we talk, we laugh, because my job is to put joy, hope, healing in the heart of my brothers and sisters. Is not to tear any of you down. So all of a sudden the person became very belligerent and even just resenting me, just like the silent treatment, and be like, hey, I'm busy, I have my own things to do and blah, blah. I was like, wow. Hey, she just showed her behind. So, and not long after that, I dreamt of her coming to my palace with her little help. You know, ransacking my room, getting my jewelry, my purse, in the 5D. The same woman. Actually, there were two that I know that I took under my wing, plus their little help. So you see, and my gods come and tell me, my queen, we got company. We got some people over here trying to rob you. And I walked up on them, I'm like, okay. And they were like, oh, no, no, no. I'm like, what do you want? Blindness or madness? Choose. Which one? So it's to tell you, my children, don't let anything get you off your path. Do not let anything get you off your mission. Because guess what? Come July 13, those who are familiar with astrology, the people say it's witchcraft. Anything Tata Nzambi created, be it a star, be it whatever, serves a purpose in his creation. The planet called Saturn is retrograding. It happens like maybe every 30 years or something. So what does it mean? That's the planet of karma. And our elders tell us, this is payday, bonus that time, because we get paid for being of service to the people. Tata Nzambi always found a way to take care of our bills, to make sure we never go without. For some strange reason, he always got our backs, you know? But the bonus time, our elders tell us, is when Mercury is retrograding. And this year, it starts July 13, 2022 to January 17, 2023. So it's gonna be a long pay period for us. This is the time Tata Nzambi set for karma to be served. So if you did good, you get a big bonus out of life. If you did bad, all you did was taking more, gonna be taken from you.
Oh my goodness.
So what our people usually do, My grandfather used to take a sheet of paper and he will write down all the things he did for the people, what he did for the people. The people who spat on his face, those who stay in good terms with you, don't worry about it. They came to your life, they're still there. We're not asking anybody to be our servant, but there's a line of conduct you should maintain when dealing with our chosen ones. They battle certain battles in the 5D that you folks have no idea of. So write down the things you've done for ungrateful people. Okay? Put their name, write down what you did for them and what they did to you in return. How they discard of you, how they spat on your face, how they went after your wife, how they went after your husband after you helped them, how they took, how they, you know, badmouth you and ruin a job opportunity, which we Bantu people say he pulled food out of my children's mouth. Write it down. Present it to the deserving ancestors and Tata Nzambi. Those of you who already have an ancestor altar, lay it there with your petition. The heart you gave me, you gave me, leads me to accept the mission of being of service to my people. Help them anywhere I can. And it doesn't mean that you have to be a necessary spiritualist. You could be a social worker, but your main goal is to secure the safety of the African children out there. You're still a chosen one. If you're serving the community in a way where you're a shield to any evil or anything they try to throw at them, and you're a shield to them, you're a chosen one. So the people you have helped, who have backstabbed and stuff, and you present it to them, let their hatred elevate me. Let the good I did speak for me before Nzambi. Nzambi, I worked, I did your work, and I didn't pay for this. You bring that into his remembrance, because we get our salary, our wage, our pay from him. So when it comes time for a bonus time, we go back to our boss and, you know, and plead our case. I deserve a bonus. Same thing. So write it down. The names and the nonsense they did is also therapeutic, because you get it out of you. You let somebody else deal with it. Your heart becomes lighter like a feather. So you do that. My work, Nzambi, I did out of the kindness of my heart. I didn't expect anything in return. Nor did I expect the betrayal I get from this person. Never pray for your enemies to ask for God to forgive them. This is not what Tata Nzambi asked us to do. Tata Nzambi said the judgment is his, but we have to bring our case before his court. We have to bring our case before his court. And this is where you heard that we have to drop the burden at his feet. That's what we do. When we bring our case before his court, I rest my case. I know you're going to bring the proper judgment for that. So I can go back to what I was doing with a light heart. Okay?
Yes.
You could be with a spiritualist, but use your sense. People who are just evil, even in dealing with people with just enemies, if all of a sudden, you know, they tell you that they're capable of something really gruesome, believe them. Believe them and start, you know, do the smooth work like Michael Jackson. So that's the message. Many of you are chosen, and you are not chosen from out of the blue. No, you come from a lineage who had an set a set mission on earth, you know, a covenant and everything. It got interrupted. It's the awakening time. So just prepare to answer the call. And we have to learn to move in silence.
Yes, yes.
Because as you know, the people we have to watch out the most are our own people, my children.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes.
I mean, they will try to destroy us first, even before the white man lay her eyes on us and try to mess with us in any way. By the time you get to that point, when they're done flagging your page on YouTube, when they're done reporting your videos, when they're done setting all kinds of obstacles on your path, and you get to the point where you have grown, where you now represent a threat to the Muzungu, by then you probably had fought 100 battles with your own people, and it's disgusting. But we can't let them stop us. There's great reward from being chosen. They are. You know, they want the prestige, they want the perks. You know, we're usually very healthy. You know, we highly protected due to the dangerous job we do. There's great rewards of being chosen, but it's also dangerous. They don't want the bad part, the nasty part of the job, catching grenades for your brothers and your sisters. They don't want to get to that level of dedication, but they want the prestige that comes with your title. So some of them are running around just claiming that this, claiming that, but they're full of hatred. So what our elders teach us to do when you in that line of duty, us the Bantu, we wake up early. At sunrise, we face east and we commend the day. We commend the elements. If it's day, we commend the sun. If it's night, we commend the moon. To expose. Remember, Tata Nzambi gave us dominion over his entire creation. So when you do that, my dear children, you face east. Anything you do when it comes to the element, always make sure you add with the permission of Nzambi, the creator. Remember, he gave us the dominion. This is where we get that permission to use the virtue of the sun to work for us, to protect us. Because wherever that idiot is, there's a sun shining too. It's the best witness. It's better than any satellite you could have in the sky. So you talk to the sun that as you rise, expose, let your rays shine on me, on my work, on my health, on my finances, and let your luminous ray expose my hidden enemies.
Yes.
Because we always have those. Sometimes they come around us pretending they are a complete fan, but they hate us. They really want to discover our secrets. They really want to discover what we're working with. So you have to beware. Listen to your heart. Tata Nzambi and the answers to talk to us through the heart. Stephen, like I call him, the Satan, this is his field, the mind. So don't let them shy you away from your path. Because when you carry out your mission to the best, your lineage will always walk this earth and they will never starve. They will always be elevated. Where people are to be chosen, they will always stand out. There's a lot of perks that comes with being chosen. So you see, so know that, my dear children, face east and speak. If you feel there's people ganging up on you, you feel that there's evil brewing somewhere, stand outside, face it straight to the east. Tata Nzambi, my ancestors, I feel kind of funny right now. My name is being conjured for evil. I can feel it. Expose who they are. You know they're going to take care of it. They won't let anything happen to you. But what you need to do is you need to minimize losses, because sometimes they come and really strike you and, throw you down. And, you're going to spring back. You're going to bounce back, but it's still annoying. If you can avoid that, keep your eyes open. Okay? So you have to know that the forces that fought against our forefathers back then are still around us. So they haven't gone anywhere. As we are awakening, guess what? Them too, they are awakening.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Yep.
So later on, I'm going to post a little recipe our elders teach us. I'm going to teach you guys how to activate your boomerang. You guys have it. People mess with you because it may not be activated. So I'm going to post a video and it's going to be on Patreon because we have to move in secret. Remember, some of the people fighting us are blood.
Yes. Yes.
So basically, as long as you activate your stuff, you won't have to worry about it. What happened with boomerang? When they throw it, it goes and hits somebody or collects something, it brings it back. That's boomerang. So whatever they send to you, if it's poverty, they're the one who's gonna become poor. If it's death, they're the one who will go 6 feet under. I mean, you don't need no distraction to carry out your mission. I mean, the mission is stressful enough. So you see, as you there, a lot of our kids, I mean, some of them are warlocks and witches. Some of them are on YouTube, proudly teaching people how to cast spells, how to bind people. But they don't know it's not everybody you bind. You try that with some of our royals, you end up crazy, mad, cuckoo. The type that tear off their clothes and walk around naked. Yes, it's not everybody you bind. It's not everybody you steal energy like they do their sex magic. You laying with somebody, you think that it's just enjoyment. No, it's not enjoyment. He's draining you. In his heart or her heart, he's making or saying incantation, taking everything. But since you got naked with him in the same room, and our elders tell us that wherever there's wherever there's probability for life to be created, Tata Nzambi is in the mix. That's why they say when you lay with somebody, Tata Nzambi is there because he's the one who gives life. So his presence is there. So what does it mean? In Tata Nzambi's head, whatever you two are doing, you're in one accord.
Wow. Since
you're naked in the same room, you give each other access to the most intimate part of your body. It means that you're in one mind. So if one person is cheating you in the process, instead of just being, they tell you all kind of nonsense. That's why our mothers tell us to never answer any question in bed. Whatever you agree in bed is binding.
Yes.
Some people are gonna have you swear the worst or try to have you swear the worst in bed. Never do that because they know what they're doing. You may find yourself completely, you lost interest, you were full of ambition, you were full of idea. All of a sudden you found that you blank, you don't have a single good idea anymore. The energy to carry on your activities is because somebody has drained you. And for us royal children, relax. Don't cry. Let me tell you how to recall everything. So for the crown royal, you can recall it. When you feel depleted, it means you fed your energy to the wrong people.
Mm-hmm.
They're using your knowledge to try to fight you. That's why you feel drained. That's why you have random headache. It's like in the spirit, they're nudging you. Come on, just say something and we do it. You know? So your spiritual team is nudging you. They let you have this headache, but these are signs that you're under attack. Now tell us what to do. You go outside, you face east and tell them, I'm recalling everything that was ever stolen from me.
Call it back.
Yes.
Call it back.
Yeah.
The words, Tata Nzambi created us with words. He created everything around us with words.
Yes.
And us being his direct lineage, I explained what Shem means on Nubia. If you guys watch it, I broke down the word of the creator. If Tata Nzambi can create the existence of mind and mankind and the world and the universe and everything it contains with words, we have that ability.
Yes.
We need to go back to our Father. So when you stand outside and the rank you occupy, even more so, you a king yourself or a queen or a high priest or a high priestess. I mean, you're a descendant of a high priest and a high priestess. These two are the top two on in the land because we need a priest to crown our kings. And the only person who can push the king into action is the high priest.
Hmm.
So when you're the descendant of either these two, you are of a high spiritual rank. You have the power to recall anything that was stolen from you because you like, I need it for other people. Bring it back. That's it. Whatever they drain from you at that point, if they try to use it against you, becomes a curse in their hands.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, my children. Peace, love, and unity. Any questions?
Wow. Wow.
Oh, I guess they got it.
They got it?
Yes, they did. No questions.
Any questions, anyone?
I do. When you were talking about,
I want to see your face.
oh gosh,
Show me your beautiful face. Thank you.
okay. When you were talking about writing what has been taken from you, and I'd like you to reiterate on that again.
Okay, my daughter. So, you know that many times when you're a beacon of light, people come near you, some may be honest and tell you, I just feel good around you. Or you have this friend who has confessed to you that they feel safe. Or whenever they come to your house, they take a nap because in your house, they found a kind of peace they don't have at home.
Yes.
So it comes also with the blessings that comes with you. Some people heal by just coming next to you. But unfortunately, many, when they come around you, they use you and dispose of you, leaving a big hole in your heart that could even lead you to never help anybody again. But my children never do that. All you do, grab a piece of paper, write their name, the assistant you brought to them, and what they end up doing to you.
Mm-hmm.
Make a list. present it to the Most High God, the God of our ancestors. Send Nzambi, my deserving ancestors, the heart you gave me, made me intervene in helping this person. Now the person has used me, chewed me out, and disposed of me. Whatever you know they have stole from you. Some of you, you brought somebody around you who took your friends. You introduced her to your friends. You introduced them to your family members. Before you know it, you out of the circle and they're the one they're parading around. Yes, it's a spirit. They want to clone you in the 5D. They want to become you. They want to walk in your slippers, in your shoe, in your life purpose. So write down their name, the service you rendered, and how they paid you. If they paid you through a backstab, write it. If they paid you through running away with your husband, write it. If they paid you causing some harm to your family member or something, write it, my children. It's therapeutic. So you take it, you say, now, I'll present it before Tata Nzambi's court. For him to give me fair payment, fair reward. Nzambi, you send me to diffuse, to give, to distribute love, to distribute compassion, to distribute knowledge. And in the process, these people, they use me and never pay me. What is our pay? When someone bless you, ask Nzambi to bless them. This is our pay.
Yes.
We're not asking people to follow us around as peasants, our servant. No, people's egos are too big these days to understand the things of the spirit. Our pay is to ask Nzambi to bless us. Why? Is to let Nzambi know that I received from the servitor, the servant you sent. I called, you send someone who was just a prayer answer, who came and resolved this problem for me. I know he came from you because the timing was perfect. Nzambi, please bless that person. Please don't allow them to go without. You know, this is our pay. Now, when they turn around and backstab you and, you know, drag your name into nonsense and try to come and measure up with you, like, you know, try to engage you into an unnecessary argument, is because they want you to react so that they could gain themselves a legal reason to attack you, to cause damages, because it's boiling. Remember, these are people close to you. They know enough to destroy you. So they come and looking for that thing. They're going to say something that's going to make you blow up. And they're going to feel justified to do the worst to you. So what you do, don't give them that energy. You're the chosen one, they're not. You smarter, they're not. You sit down, you write down their names, what you done, because Nzambi knows he came from a pure intention.
Yes.
Nzambi knows you never tried to harm them or to treat them any poorly or nothing. So Nzambi sees the heart. You write it down, you present it to him. Nzambi, I did your work, I didn't get paid. This is how they paid me. So bring judgment and bring my reward. If, you know, for them to learn the lesson, if it's going to take for them to be thrown down to the ground, then that's Nzambi. However, Nzambi and the ancestors are going to choose to deal with them. It's no longer your problem. You have dropped the burden on your altar. So write down everything they did, you know, what you did, the service you rendered, and how they pay you. Make a list. You'll be surprised how that list just keep on getting longer and longer and longer. And when you finish writing, take it, say your little prayers, what you want to see. You want justice. Don't go and pray for your enemy and forgive them. No. Say, I give it to you. I'm being obedient. Okay? I'm taking the burden and lay it at your feet because only you can judge this. Only you can fix this. Only you can. Nzambi, bring my reward like you would do to a boss. That's how you do it, my daughter.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any more questions?
Not that I
Bayete,
can
my
think.
queen, Bayete. You had said
Bayete.
something a little earlier about around July 12th. Could you please just expound on that a little bit about the planet? You were saying
Oh.
something.
Oh, okay. In July 13, right? The planet called Saturn is retrograding. So it's an occurrence that happens maybe every 30 or 40 years. It's the time when astrologically, Tata may bring retribution. It's the time when systems fall. There's a change in power. Power change hands. If the right push, the right actions are taken. So it's a period we don't need to do anything. We don't need to make no phone calls to anybody who has offended us. We don't need to make a collection call to anybody who owes us anything. Because there's a karmic force that comes, and our deeds will determine the reward we're gonna get, either a reward or punishment. And it's a period that would last from July 13, 2022 to January 17, 2023. So you will see a lot of changes, especially when you come also to government. Watch around. Things they have acquired through frivolous ways and stuff they're going to lose. People who are occupying positions in company that, position they didn't deserve, but they kiss so many behind that they're going to lose. This is the time where Tata Nzambi bring his divine justice. So go for your bonus. The light workers, you've been sacrificially giving of your time, of your energy, of your knowledge. Sometimes the ancestors bring around us dangerous people. They tell us they're dangerous, but at the same time, they tell us not to shut the door to them. And guess what our ancestors gonna make us do? They're gonna allow us to teach them just enough for them to become a real hazard to themselves, should they try you.
Wow.
Yeah, from Royal Daughter. Royal Daughter said they don't want to get busted. Yeah. So never deny knowledge to somebody because you're afraid they may hurt you. Your ancestors are bringing them around you for them to get arrested.
So let's arrest.
Arrested in the spirit.
Yes, let's arrest.
So I want to make sure our children know how powerful they are.
Yes.
Our God is not coward. Because what he got is stronger, is mightier than any power. We, the Bantu people, we got our power from him.
Yes, yes.
My children, I'm such a chicken when it comes to certain things. If our spirituality involves anything dirty, anything scary, mba. I wouldn't have accepted. you know, I wouldn't have. If our spirituality, like in the process of crowning me and stuff, and they take me to a shrine with the blood, I would have reigned. You know, so it's to tell you what our forefathers had is pure. And when I found out who we are of, who we came from, everything made that much sense, that much more sense to me. Okay?
Yes, yes.
So be aware, have a light heart. Always have a light heart. I'm gonna post how to activate your boomerang.
Mhm.
And it's a ritual, just do it once a month, okay? Because our grandfather was doing that to us. And I just tend to see anybody really making, anybody just focusing on me to mess with me, it never ends well. Because people don't understand there's something about royal children. Many of them have a loving heart. Many of them are usually good looking and innocent looking. But I want you guys to know that it comes with the territory to handle the things of God. A high level of purity is required. So that's why a lot of us look so innocent, so people think they can come at us is like wolves. They see a little sheep, they're just licking their lips. They think you are going to be an easy prey.
Mhm.
But our elders tell us that Tata Nzambi told them that their innocence and their purity is their shield, is their protection. Do you know, like when you cut a lamb loose in a field of wolves, this is when not the ancestor come to your rescue, the archangel themselves, the ascended masters themselves. They're the one who show up for you because you are that pure, you are that innocent. So never doubt who you are, how you feel, the way you feel about certain things. Trust the voice in you. This is the time of our awakening. And that's what they told me. And there's a story I'm going to share in the video I'm going to post, how a diasporan high priestess, a kid of us, her name is Mystic Beauty, our daughter. She's mystically beautiful. All right. So after my crowning, which took place in Cuba, they told me I had, is to show you how our ancestors are very overly protective with you guys' gifts. In my case, there's nobody at home. When my mom died, I was here, but the crown came to me. And you know what they told me? I had to root it somewhere in the Americas. This is where we have our people. They left naked. That's what they told me. They left naked. They didn't take anything with them. It's time they have a little something over there.
Yes.
So you know, they led me to get crowned to Cuba, and Cuba, who was an enemy, so to speak, they dragged one of our sons to go there and open the big door. So I went and got crowned and rooted the power. And then they told me now for the training, the initiation, I had to go home. I asked my uncle, why do you think the ancestor, they found a Cuban priestess? And guess what? The priestess, She's a Black Cuban from the lineage of Manasseh, because the studies and the place she stayed is the Manasseh people who were dumped there. So they found one of our own to do it.
Mm.
And then when I came back from the initiation in Africa and everything, I was scared. They told me, you need to get out there and tell our people who they are, what's coming for us. We are already awakening some of them, but you're gonna bring the confirmation many of them need. But I was terrorized because internet, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram were a jungle. One of the worst jungles where people just are on each other's neck,
Yes.
where people just beef with one another thinking it's attractive. And you see, when they beef, this is when they get the highest view.
Yes.
You
Yes.
will see sometimes 5,000-6,000 people viewing somebody tearing down another one.
Mhm.
It was painful to watch. So I started delaying. I'm like, okay, my first message will be announcing that I'm around. And then the next message, they told me you need to address these people. I'm like, who? The white people. That's where Dear White People came about. So I was scared, even to get to the point where we have Dear White People. Do you know who pushed me out? One daughter. Her name is Mystic Beauty. She's a tarot reader, but she's really a high priestess because she got crowned. So one day I turned on my TV, and I remember I was alone at home. My kids were with their dad. And I saw this girl pop up. And I watched her before because I just love watching our children. I love seeing what they're doing. I love to put them on the map. I'm like, that one could possibly be from where? That's what I like doing. So I've seen her before, and then she popped on the screen, and the title to her message called me directly. And it was like an urgent message for a chosen one. And she came, she's like, I know who you are. You come from a royal family or something. Your people, listen, we're very important, and they have a mission for you. You have a staff, she said. Your people want to come out now and start talking to the people. The people are ready. And she said something, she goes, don't cower out now. Oh, wow. She was like, don't cower out now. The people are ready. And your ancestors said that you better get out there before they make you do it. I was like, okay, so where's my confirmation? Because the ancestors were talking through her. I'm like, if it comes from them, they will give me my confirmation. It's a code. We don't get our messages from any bird out there unless it's our bird, okay?
Right.
Yes.
So, and then she proceeded. She said this exactly. She said, I'm gonna share something because my ancestors gave me permission to share it. She said she dreamt that she was in an open field and it was like graduation day. They were the Asians, the Chinese, the Africans, the other people were there, but the Muzungus. She said she saw all the races, but the Muzungus.
Mm.
And everybody were in their traditional gear. She said, and then she saw they call out like a big speaker. They call out her ancestors. And then she said that they came to the front of the line. And then the lady in her group, she described they were geared up. They said they were Africans. And the lady from there, she took a staff and threw it to her. And then she caught it. And then they told her what the stuff was for. They told her, this is the stuff of the voodoo spirituality. Now, the voodoo people are in current Benin Republic, the Dahomey Kingdom. There's a big movie, a powerful movie coming up about them. These were the voodoo people. They're the one who have the custodian of that spirituality. So I understood that that was my confirmation, because she had to explain the crowning of the African royal and priest, the way the crowning takes place in the spirit, because it happens first in the spirit. Whomever was the custodian of that power comes and relays the baton to you. This is the first step. So her ancestor knew that if she didn't say it, I wouldn't care. I would keep postponing and finding excuses and more excuses not to come out. You see? But when she said that, I'm like, okay, I will do. And ever since I took my courage, I'm like, I'd rather go and confront the YouTube savages than deal with my ancestors. I choose my battle wisely. So it's to show you. So basically, the kid, I did call her, because you have to thank your priestess. You know, although she's not of my tribe, or no, we don't have the same spirituality, but she's a person of equal rank. Okay, her people, I'm sure her ancestors were the high priesthood in her lineage. So for my kings to communicate to me, they go through somebody of equal rank. That's what she knew what to say to confirm that the message was authentic. So please, my children, don't take yourself lightly. Don't. It's time we heal. Many of you are called to gather the people. It doesn't matter, even if it's a handful of people. But in the years of Nzambi, sharing the truth with them, bringing illumination to them, bringing light.
Yes.
He who has found his home has found his life. You know, home is your roots. When you know your roots, you understand everything about yourself.
Yes.
You know, so never be discouraging, you know, in sharing the knowledge, you know, building people up. There's just certain things I'm gonna have to do on Patreon, because I don't care to help the evil people. So be careful with the people who always wanna have you interpret their dreams. You know, that's another way of stealing your energy. That's another way of stealing your thought. Because if you start interpreting their dreams, and you start, you know, inviting them into that aspect of your life, you are inviting them into your dream state.
Oh.
Wow.
Okay, when you see someone, always they approach you about a dream and stuff. If they don't have good intention, they start dreaming with you. You have no business accessing somebody's spirit field, you know, unless they invite you. So when you get to that level with them of discussing dream stuff and stuff, they can get into your spirit state, your dream state. They can see things about you in dreams and even not share with you. Yes. So it's tricky. I've seen some chosen ones that really got destroyed or got put on the wrong side, or so you have to really be careful. All right. So if someone comes with a dream, always make sure you establish an exchange. If they never tell you about their dreams, don't tell them about your dreams. You know? So you have to, when your heart tells you not to interpret, tell them to go before God with it. Just tell them, go before God with it. I'm not sure. Okay, because I realize that the people of the darkness, they're little maniacs and agents are very active on these streets. So our light workers are left at a disadvantage.
Yes.
You know, and if you don't know how to fight it, it's going to discourage you.
Mm.
It's going to get you out of your life purpose, and you're going to miss your blessing, your generational blessings. You can't allow that to happen.
Mm-mm. Yes.
So you just have to learn how to decipher. But one thing will always happen, they will always come around. The ones your people don't want to delete outright, because when they want to delete them, they don't notify you. You're just gonna hear something terrible happen to them.
Mm.
But if it's somebody, maybe they have an ancestor on the other side pleading for their case, these are the ones who come and confess. They're gonna say something about them and you like, I can't believe they just said that, but they're telling on themselves.
Mm.
You know, because once they have confessed, you know, the sentence can be that harsh. But they're under spiritual attack. So they have an ancestor trying to save them. That's why they even do that and come and tell you. And when they start, when they're the ones that the ancestor really want to take out, they won't make them call you and tell you. I have a daughter I took under my wing, and she's been shady, very shady. And I know she's shady, but at the same time, she comes from a strong ancestry. Someone, a female in her line, is fighting for her. So sometimes she's normal, sometimes she becomes weird. So there's that battle. Although I did everything I could to kind of protect myself from her energy, she told me sometimes she hear people barking orders to her that are not necessarily good. There was always who always wanted to do what?
Where is it at?
Saying that was confirmation that you're saying, because there was an individual in my life and she always wanted me to.
My daughter, show me your beautiful face. Really?
Please.
Where are you at?
Because I just.
We don't see you.
Can't hear.
We can't hear you or see you. Okay.
Can you see me now?
Yes.
Hey. Tell you, my daughter, I can barely hear you.
Hold on. Let me turn my-
We can't hear.
Can you hear me now?
That's
Yes,
better, much
yes.
better.
I
Yes.
can't hear you now.
Yes.
I can't hear you, but anyway, if you can hear me, this is fine. So there was an individual who always would ask me they would always bring me their dreams and telling me these dreams, and I would just get disturbed in my spirit. I would just get disturbed. And whenever they kept asking, and I would just felt Tata saying, no, tell her to pray. Tell her to pray. And so I would just tell her, ask Tata Nzambi, he will reveal.
Yeah.
I just felt strongly in my spirit not to keep trying to interpret this individual's dreams.
Mhm.
So that was
Yeah.
confirmation for me. Thank you for that.
That's your confirmation. That's how they infiltrate our dream states.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when the heart tells you not to, when the heart tells you not to interpret, always send them back to Tata Nzambi, because you will notice if you start discussing your dream and allow them to discuss their dream with you, they're going to come next. They're going to say, oh, they saw you in one of their dreams.
Mm.
You see, because you have given that access.
Yes.
Mm.
Wow.
Mm.
So we need to be careful out there. And there's yeah, I was talking about that daughter. She had a dream. She actually was around me. Let me use them for teaching topics. And anyway, she talks to me almost all the time. She has a question, my queen, how about this? My queen, how about that? And so when I had the dream of her being in company of the other one, and supposedly they're not even talking, but they were together in the same dream, robbing my house. So I told her that, were you still communicating with that person behind my back? Of course, there is, you know, she saw that no. But I'm like, better in the 5D, you in good company with her. You're getting to places you have no business getting to. You know? So, and at that point, you know, I told her, I'm like, what is done in the secret will always be revealed, you know? Because I'm like, I don't know what you're seeking around me. Not long ago, she called me and told me she dreamt with a cobra, but it was all black. And then she dreamt with a lion, because I told them, those of you who dream with our cats, with a panther, all black, it means that your people come from a priesthood lineage. Yeah, somebody was a priest. Now, if your ancestor was a king, you're gonna see either a leopard, or if you're Judah, if you're a descendant of the tribe of Judah, Judah children tend to dream with lions. All right. You could be a king and still dream with lions, because lions watch over our head, and leopards and stuff. So she told me about that, and the ancestor told me there's something wrong with her dream. She even sent the picture of a black cobra, and I was like, ew, what an ugly cobra, because you know, it was all black. But and then the ancestor told me, this is not us. This is not the brass serpent. This is not Danny. Danny is white on the bottom. Danny valves are wide. Danny is the king cobra. And that wasn't what she saw. And whatever she saw, because each time you're going to dream of one of our totem, instead of having the regular color they should have, if you see them all black, it means that they are perverted. Somebody is using somebody else's power, but it's perverted, right? So I told her, I don't know. It could mean like there's a crown in your family. Somebody had a staff, right? But it's just that somebody else is using that power for the wrong things.
Wow.
So basically, that's what I explained to her. And you know that day, she didn't say.
I had already muted them. I don't know. What are you doing?
Unmute yourself, Queen.
I had already.
Sorry, my mistake. I did that. I
That's
apologize.
okay. So the next day after I performed the ritual of recalling everything which has been stolen, or of exposing the hidden enemy, that child of ours called me first thing in the morning. She basically called and confessed to. She called and told me, I don't know, basically she was like trying to tell me that why do I always accuse her whenever anything is wrong or anything goes wrong? She's not talking to the other lady. She hasn't been. I'm like, I don't really pay attention to what we see in the 3D because there's a lot hidden to the naked eye. I saw you together in a dream trying to rob my house. You see? So, and then she said, well, but you told me the cobra dream was perverted and blah, blah, all these things. But, you know, before then, and then she now tells me the part of the dream she didn't tell. She goes, before then, I had a dream that some little girl went up to some apartment and knocked at the door, and you opened the door, and the little girl was going to show you like 2 stones. She had 2 stones. And then you yelled at her and slapped her hand. And I was like, how can she do that and stuff? So note, she said the little girl had 2 stones in her hand and wanted to show them to me. And I rejected them. And then she said, and then the next day I dreamt of the cobra and the lion. And then you told me that they were perverted. I'm like, oh, how come I'm only hearing the first part of the dream today?
Oh,
My people, be careful out there.
yes.
I'm like, it seems like I'm getting part 1. When there was, I'm getting part 1 today, when you gave me part 2 before. You know, I'm like, first of all, when you see somebody in the dream, you need to tell them. Because in your waking life, if you talk to me every day, you call me about anything every day, I think if I see you in a dream, I will tell you I saw you in a dream and what happened in a dream. There could be a message there for you, or you could know if there's some activity being conducted in the 5D against you. I'm like, listen, first of all, the lady you saw is not me. You know why? Because you didn't see me in my element. Number 2, this is not my character to just chase people, especially kids. I'm like, you've been me around my kids. I don't respect any, I don't disrespect any kid, any human being. You see me? It's not me. But I know there's somebody out there trying to fit my slippers and trying to wear my dress. So whomever you saw in the 5D is not me. And whatever she rejected that you got is not my stuff. Because I'm still living and very well. You know, is to tell you that our people know enough to be a hazard to themselves.
And others too.
Okay, my children. So be careful out there. Some people may just start fighting you because they saw somebody in a dream fight who looks like you fight them. But they don't know that we have cloned some people. They clone other people to do and commit it. This is how they break marriages.
Wow.
Sometimes you dream of your own husband persecuting you, but it's really a woman who wants him, who sent the spirit to look like him to do you harm. You see? Now, if you are not spiritually on point to challenge the spirit, to test it, you will never know who's truly behind it.
That's what I said.
You see?
Test us.
So I told that kid of ours, I'm like, no, when we part ways, I made sure I did what we call cut cords. She was to be adopted in my family, but she came and, you know, walked funny to the point. One of our ancestors appeared to her in a dream and told her the adoption is null and void now because she fell.
Mm,
And she herself came and told me that. I'm like, when I swore you into my family, it wasn't a joke. But you came around and played around. And now they have you found out. They are rejecting you now. I'm like, there's nothing I can do. And I remind her of that dream. I'm like, when they came and gave you the papers saying that it was over between us, they cut that cord. So the person you're seeing in your dream, it cannot be me. So you see, that's how it works. You have to know what you're rocking with. You have to know what you're working with. Okay, my children. Any more questions?
Wow. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. Motondo so much for that.
My people,
Yes.
I'm gonna run. We're gonna pack it.
yes, yes.
My dear children, peace in your homes at all times. We only get connected when we live in a peaceful home, when we have peaceful surroundings, okay? Love in your hearts. Love is necessary to our magic. Is the activator. Like when we used to process our hair, the activator liquid, a perm won't happen until you put the activator. That's what love is. To our spirituality, to our protections, to our everything. And unity, because the blessings of one are tied to another. We are links pertaining to the same chain. Okay?
Yes. Yes.
Until next time. Mwah.
Bayete.
Bayete.
Thank you, my children. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Be increased, Queen.
Thank you. Ashe.
Ashe,
Ashe.
ashe.
All right. Well, hallelujah. We want to thank everyone for being with us. I know we didn't get her opening umbolo, but we want to thank everyone for joining us, and we love you all, and you all be increased. And until next time, we will meet again. Ashe.